punished? Why not the men punished? Why was your court bury a 9-year-old?
Why did
Why
your
can't women leave their homes without a man?
Why was the Quran
Why does it say in your book, why kill them?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Before we go to the experiment and find the reactions of these people, the question that we're going to ask today is the following. We're dealing with the misconception of polygamy, yeah? We're going to go out there and ask males and females, if your husband or your wife was totally okay with it, you had the money, you had the time, everything was okay, would you want a second husband, a second wife, or a second girlfriend, or a second boyfriend? That's what we're going to find out, inshallah, as well. Also, we're going to be talking about polygamy, the pros and the cons. And also, I will be talking about in my marriage documentary, which you'll find out very soon about this, because I was personally, when I was getting to know a sister for marriage, being told actually a few times that, do you want to get married again? And I said, well, you're going to find out what I answered in the marriage documentary. And also, can you stipulate in the contract? All this will be answered in my marriage documentary, but that's something else. Let's go to Birmingham, where we carried out the experiment, and come right back, and inshallah, learn some beautiful lessons about polygamy. All praise belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll be right back. Is this your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, right. She can't look at this because she'll end up uppercutting me. Okay, so sister, just 10 seconds. Don't be scared, yeah? Have you guys got girlfriends?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine, yeah, your girlfriend is totally okay with it. Yeah, she's totally fine with it, yeah? Okay, you got the money, you got the time, you got everything, yeah? She's okay with it, yeah? Would you want a second girlfriend?
If she, what say again, mate?
She's okay with it, fam. Okay, she's saying to you, look, you can get married again, you can do whatever, like get another girlfriend. She's saying it's calm. Would you want a second girlfriend?
I'll put one each. If she gets on my nerves, I'll put it in the corner. So I'll just go to
Okay. Yes.
I'll say
yes. Okay. Ever imagine if your husband's totally okay with it, yeah? Would you want a second husband? No. Is there a reason why?
Want to know?
Would you want a second boyfriend?
No.
Okay. Just answer no. Why not?
Because I don't have time for that.
So.
Once enough.
Okay. What if you had time?
No.
Still no.
I'd love one. I'd love a second wife.
You okay?
I'd love a second.
Uncle. You just need to press yes.
Hey, I'd love it.
I'm talking.
I just
Okay.
wouldn't in general. I just feel it's just wrong. I feel
Why not?
like you just love one guy.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like you can only, like, you can't have two husbands and love one. You can't love them equally, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, I feel like you'd always love one more than the other.
So the second wife.
Second wife?
Yes.
Yes, finished.
Yes or
So
no?
what?
Would you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. How many? 2, 3, 4.
I think two is
Two is enough. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How many? 2, 3, 4.
Five.
And how many extra? 2, 3, 4. No. I just want. You're next.
I'll have two in it.
Okay. Money, look. You got the money. You got the time. Your wife is okay with it. Yeah. So take those factors out.
If my wife is okay,
She is-
then yeah.
Look at it. It prevents you from.
Press it.
Yeah. You want a second girlfriend? Answer here. Just answer here.
I'll be happy that the one I've got.
Okay. If it was acceptable,
But it's not going to be acceptable.
if it was, would you want 2 boyfriends?
No.
Yeah. Would you want a second husband?
no,
Ew, why would
no, because the first one can't even act right.
Okay. All right. Why? Like, males give kind of a different answer, but as females, why can't you have more than one husband? Like, we're not talking about Islamic ruling. Obviously, we know it's not permissible. But what I'm saying in general is, why can't a female be married to 2 husbands? Is there? Can you tell me?
can't look at somebody else while you're in love with the person you're with.
Okay, so is it more emotional? Like, you're more emotionally attached to one? Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, may Allah bless you guys. Would you ever want a second husband?
No. Ooh, no.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay, 1 second.
My first husband might get jealous and kill us.
Just doing the social experiment, inshallah. May Allah bless you guys.
What have men been saying? Like,
Oh, it's actually been quite interesting. Like, okay, guys, now that was quite interesting. As you saw for yourself, the different reactions, etc. Right now, we're going to find out the results. Yeah, okay, we're going to cut to the chase. We're going to find the results out. I carry this experiment out on both Instagram and also in person in Birmingham. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the survey, inshallah, and we're going to see So when we asked males, we're going to find out now what the results were. Yeah, okay. So, are you guys ready? So we asked about 26 males, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? Shockingly, this was actually very, very shocking to me. Yani, because I'm a man as well, and I know a lot of brothers around me as well. 35% of them said yes. 65% said no. So I came to the conclusion that there are no men left in Birmingham, sadly. But besides that, the ones who said yes, 67% said they would want one extra co-wife or co-girlfriend, because we are both Muslims and non-Muslims. 11% said 3, they would want 3 partners. 11% said 4, and another 11% said they want 4 plus. So there were some greedy brothers out there. So what we did is we said, okay, that kind of, give and take, because some of the questions, the brothers, they didn't really understand the way I was saying. Even though I said, if you had no money, if you had the money, if you had the time, and your wife or girlfriend was totally okay with it, would you want to go and do this? But after we asked them, some of them said, oh, but I might not have the time. So they didn't really understand my question. So I would give it a ratio of 60 to 40%, yeah? After speaking to them. Now, going to sisters. So we asked the females, okay? We asked the females the very same question. Your husband is totally okay with it. Would you want a second partner, a second husband or a second boyfriend, yeah? We asked 25 of them. And here was the results. It's quite expected, really. 88% said no. 12% said yes, right? Now, even that 12% that said yes, there was some that were like just giggling, and I think they saw it kind of as a joke. But let's go with it, no problem, yeah? We'll say 90% said no, 10% said yes. Okay, now there's a little twist to this whole experiment. I said to myself, hold on a second, this is quite interesting, because majority of the men, obviously there's some men who are happy with their wife or just their girlfriend, whatever it may be, generally. But the results that I got were a bit shocking, and I was very honest with them, yeah? As you can see, I didn't play around with it, I'm very honest with it, inshallah. So I said, let's add a little twist to this, yeah? So we said, okay, we're going to go back to the males. We're going to ask them the very similar question in a little bit of a different way. And we thought, what would the results be? So this was quite interesting. We asked them, so we did this off camera. We went to a variety of people, called some people, and we asked them the question. We said, look, there is a lady or a woman who comes and says, look, all I want is just sexual pleasure. That's it. I don't want nothing else from you. No strings attached. Yeah, we made this very, very clear. And we asked about 20 males, yeah? And we said to them, look, no strings attached. If this was the case, and this lady or this girl, whoever she is, she just said, look, this is what I want from you. I'm a very busy woman. I'm Miss Independent. I don't need a man in my life. This is all I need him for. Would you do it? Now, this was very shocking. Look at the results. 95% of those men said yes. 5% said no. So now the question that we all need to ask ourselves is this. Why is it that when we said a second wife, a second girlfriend, even some Muslim men, even though they're allowed, yeah, and we know a lot of religions, Mormonism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Christianity, Judaism, they allow it as well. Why is it that 60% said no, but when it came to no strings attached, there was a paradigm shift, and they were saying yes, yes, like kind of yes? Well, I want to take you guys to a little experiment that was also done, a little research that was done, yeah? And I want to read this out for you guys, inshallah, because this kind of brings me back to this point, yeah? Science has yet definitely to pronounce on whether humans are naturally monogamous or polygamous. The human male body provides ambiguous clues to the answer, but the balance of the evidence indicates that we are biologically inclined towards monogamy. Now hear this out, yeah? While retaining an urge to sleep around. Now that's quite interesting. So there is this urge, yeah, to sleep around. Now, connecting that with the twist that we had, that we done, that kind of tells me that men, they prefer to have a partner, a mistress, a side chick or a girlfriend with no strings attached. So it still shows me that men have that high sex drive, that they want another partner with no commitments. Now, before I come to the issue of polygamy and its pros and cons, I just want to prove to you guys that this study, there was another study that was taken, that was done Okay, so this was the biggest experiment that was done with 200,000 participants across cross-cultural with 53 nations. 53 nations. And they came to the conclusion that men have a higher sex drive than women. And a man thinks about sex more often than a woman. Now, just to further prove my point, that, for example, men spend billions of pounds on pornography, males magazines, where there's half naked woman, yes, woman's legs, but you will never see a woman spending that amount of money, be it on, you know, oh, I want to go and buy a magazine that shows me a man's hairy legs and I get turned on. It doesn't happen. Strip clubs. A majority of the strip clubs, disproportionately, are female strip clubs, yeah? They're for male, like, you know, they call them gentlemen's club, yeah? But when it comes to females, for females that do go to these men's strip clubs, majority of them, studies show that they go there because usually their friend goes, you know, they have, like, you know, girls' night out, wherever that may be. And also, like I said to you before, billions of pounds is being spent on these things. And not only that, advertisements. What has a chocolate bar, a water, grass, lighting, whatever you may call it, a car, what on earth has that got to do with a female that they always have to put a female dressed up in a certain way? Why? Because a man is born in that way. He's visual, yeah? He gets, you know, sexually stimulated visually. But with a female, that's not the case. What that does is, that proves me further that a man has a higher sex drive, and not only that, but also he is naturally polygamous. Now you can say, you know what, Brother Ali, we're not taking a word for it. However, I just want to make something clear. I am not endorsing that you get into polygamy or not. I'm just trying to show you the fact. My aim here is, in the Wife House, to debunk claims, misconceptions about Islam, and to prove that this Quran is from Allah, because it's reality. Now let's go to non-Muslims, yeah? There are 2 books that support this claim, backed by scientific studies and analysis. Sex at Dawn, that's what it's called. The Prehistoric Origins of Modern Sexuality by Christopher Ryan and Cecilda Jether, and The Myth of Monogamy by David P. Barash and Judith Eve Lipton. Both of these books are available online and in bookstores. So non-Muslims even testify to this reality. Recent study shows that British men are much more likely than British women to believe that humans are naturally polygamous, according to new research. Despite the majority of the country's population believing that polygamy is morally wrong, almost half of men, 46%, think that it is not natural to have only one sexual partner. Now, moving swiftly on. Guys, now, there's a phrase that I've come across, yeah? Polygamy, not this phrase, by the way. Polygamy has been practiced in history with all kinds of nations, yeah? It has been practiced all the time. Men can reproduce in their 60s, their 70s, and their 80s. Women generally get into their menopause around their 50s, yeah? That's another evidence why there should be polygamy. And also we know a lot of men die more often. Women live a bit longer. Also, majority of the prison occupants are males. And also we know that back in those days they didn't have DNA. So if a woman had 4 husbands and had sex with all of them, you don't know who the baby is. But if a man had 4 wives, you know who the father is, you know who the mother is. There's a lot of hikmah behind it, yeah? Okay, so sisters, just hold on, yeah? Before you guys go crazy, I'm going to drive this point home. It's going to be beneficial for all of us, yeah? There is a phrase called serial monogamous. Now, I've heard of serial murderers and serial killers, but a serial monogamist? And it says Donald Trump, Larry King, Hugh Hefner, the Playboy, the guy who owns that Playboy thing, Charlie Sheen, live openly with multiple girlfriends. Now, they are called serial monogamists. Why? Because they are not, it's illegal to get married again. So they are serial monogamists. They get married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced. Their wife becomes like, that's what Donald Trump and Larry King did. When their wife became older, they replaced the old wife to a new wife. And what happens is coming at the cost of destroying one relationship, totally abandoning, and moving on to another one. This is a harm. And this happens in our society. Why? Because a man wants to get married again, but because it's illegal, what he does is he says, okay, I have to divorce you. You ruin and destroy a marriage. Yes, you ruin and destroy a marriage. Now, I know sometimes if polygamy is not done in the right way, it can also destroy and ruin marriages also. We're going to come to that later. But these athletes, these rock stars, they sleep around with hundreds and thousands of women. Why? So Allah has sent this legislation for it to be done in an ethical way, not in an unethical way where you go and abuse it and sleep around with girls, mistresses, side chicks and girlfriends and abuse them and give them no rights. It actually puts them in a vulnerable position because you're using and abusing them. Allah says no. If you're going to do it, you do it in the right way. Marry in Surah Nisa verse 3, marry in 2s, 3s and 4s. But if you cannot be just, marry only one. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that on the Day of Judgment, a man will come leaning on one side. Why is he leaning on one side? Because he was unjust to one of the wives. So this is not a joke. This is a serious matter. And we just want, the whole point of this video is once again not to promote polygamy. Yani, I believe it's a solution, but I'm not here to do that. Do it or not do it. I'm trying to show you why the Quran is from Allah. And this misconception that I'm trying to answer here, yeah? This is a man who has come to the morning show, yeah? He's come to the morning show. We have the perfect polygamous relationship. He's got 2 girlfriends. Now this is hypocrisy, yeah? Not these people, yeah? You are allowed to have 2 girlfriends. It's fine, you can have 2 girlfriends. It's good, come to the morning show, it's all good. Look, me and my 2 girlfriends. But can you get married again? Oh no, you cannot get married again. No, sorry, you cannot get married again and treat both the women equally and give them rights and honor them and speak to the father. No, you cannot do that. But 2 girlfriends is fine. You know what's more pathetic than this? Well, this lady says that I sleep with men to save their marriages. She's a prostitute. She sells herself. She sleeps around with men. And she actually, I watched the video. She says that these men go home happy. She goes, because their sex life is dead. Their wife don't want to have sex with them anymore. So he's saying, look, she's saying, I'll come and save their marriages. So in another way, it's polygamy done in an unethical way. You're using and abusing a woman emotionally in all kinds of ways. And this is allowed. Okay, cheating is not a crime. Yeah, cheating is not a crime. Being a prostitute to serve other men, married men, is not a crime. Having 2 girlfriends, it's fine. Side chicks, girlfriends, mistresses, beautiful. Yeah, a lot of these rich people that they have, yeah? But if you want to get married again in the right way and treat them both equally, no, you can't do that. No, sorry, that's not allowed. This is the pinnacle of hypocrisy. And that's why we have the Wi-Files brought to you by Salam Studios to debunk this very claim. Polygamy, obviously, is legislated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you have a lot of brothers that get gassed and hyped. They're not even doing the fard. Brother, you're not even waking up for Fajr, but you're too busy concentrated on fulfilling the Sunnah, yeah? Because you love Allah and His Messenger so much, I have to feel the Sunnah. Brother, go do your fard first before you talk about this. And a lot of the time, not a lot of the time, sometimes men abuse this. How? They get married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced. They marry sisters with the intentions of divorcing. Yeah? It's being abused. This has happened. Yes? Non-Muslims. That's why we say brothers and sisters. It's very important that our brothers fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also our sisters. Because I hear a lot of horror stories where a brother comes, maybe not in this country, in another country where it's legal, it's allowed, comes and says, look, I want to get married again. Yeah? And the sister disappeared with the kids, boycotted him, ruined his life. He can't see his kids. Why? Basically telling him get lost, go to hell. Literally, not metaphorically, literally go to hell. Meaning, look, instead of you hurting my feelings, I'd rather you go and disobey Allah's legislation, go commit zina. Sisters have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. We have to be balanced here. This is a reality. If we go with the premise, if we agree that different things should be treated in different ways, catered different ways, the evidence and the science and the Quran and the Sunnah, firstly, science comes after, proves to us that men are created in a different way. Now we can either accept this reality or reject it and live in a lie. And this is one of the reasons why I've done this video, to show why polygamy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated it when it's done the right way. Otherwise, it's done in an unethical way where non-Muslims practice this. They have girlfriends, multiple, sleeping around like it's happy days, abusing women. No rights, they have no rights. But when it's done the right way, if you want to get married again, you go and honor that woman. My dear sister, I want to get married again. This is what I can offer. Bang, bang, bang. Speak to the father. Give her a walima. Give her her mahr. In a right way. Wallahi, this is something that is from the religion. And any man, I admire the man. Wallahi, I'll say this very clearly. Yeah? And I discussed this in my marriage documentary also. Because I was set with these conditions of, for example, I wanted to get to know a sister for a marriage, but she said that you're not allowed to get married. She wanted to stipulate in the contract, yeah? Now, I'm not saying I wanted to get married again. The issue is, though, stipulating the contract. Is this allowed? Is this not allowed? All this we'll talk about in the marriage documentary, inshallah. This is a very important question. But, just to drive the point home, that this polygamous relationship is a solution to mankind. So, in a nutshell, this proves once again, for those who some who leave Islam because, oh no, this is a man's religion, etc. Once again, Islam has been proven right. Once again, Islam is there as a solution, and you have left your religion because of something that, just because it's bitter truth. It's a bitter truth. And it's there. And some of these females who have left, they're in relationships where their boyfriend is got mistresses and girlfriends is cheating. So you've left Islam for something that your boyfriend's doing anyway. So that's your loss. So brothers and sisters, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you would like me to carry on doing more social experiments with the Survey Monkey, want me to ask specific questions, comment in the section below. I would use that, go out there and do the same survey. Hope this has been beneficial for you guys and answered your doubts. And until next time, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.